Yep, I'm getting an ad now, so must be up.
We're back, and it's better than ever. Okay, it's not better than ever. It's pretty much the same thing as it's always been, but we're back. I see ya. See ya. Howdy, Kakai. Yeah, Raptor guy, I do kind of remember now you being in here. That's right. I do. That's from Hamilton. Okay, Ronan. It's time to ready up.
Sorry, thought I did already.
That's all right. Yeah, I don't know. That's weird for XSplit to crash like that. It's usually pretty stable. But I don't normally change audio sources 3 or 4 times in a stream, so it could be just that.
So what did Drax break?
I don't use any... He broke my whole stream. I don't use any Apple products at all, except I love my iPhone, and I kind of like the iPad a lot. I have an old iPad too, and I wouldn't mind an iPad Pro. But iPads are really not, to me, full-on computers. They've just limited everything so much. So for actual work, I use a desktop Windows machine, and I do have a Thunderbolt audio interface because I do audio recording. I'm a recording engineer part-time and a portrait photographer part-time and a music video maker part-time and a composer part-time, and I just do lots of different things. And so I have this $1,000 audio interface that's connected via Thunderbolt, and honestly I'm totally unimpressed with the compatibility of Thunderbolt. It's been problem after problem. It generally
is this Thunderbolt the new? Well, I say new. It's been out for a while. The iPhone or Apple connector.
Well, no, because there's so Intel actually owns the Thunderbolt technology patents, and you have to meet a certain Intel spec.
I feel like a long time ago, computers had Thunderbolt ports.
Yeah, but
it kind of died away, and then the iPhones came out with a
so Thunderbolt. I mean, iPhones come out with Lightning.
That's what I'm thinking of.
And that was not that great. It's okay. It was better than USB 2, but not as fast, or maybe it's as fast as USB 3. Kind of depends on the implementation on most of these technologies, right? There's different levels that you can attain to and get certified for, or chips for, and all that kind of stuff. So Thunderbolt 1 came out, and it was not very compatible on anything other than on the Macs. And then Thunderbolt 2 came out, and it wasn't very compatible on Windows on anything. No. And then now there's Thunderbolt 3. Thunderbolt 4 is either out or in the wings. And Thunderbolt is technically a good spec and a good interface, but
don't worry,
industry support kind of lags behind. Apple might screw it up. Well, I don't know that Apple can screw up Thunderbolt per se, but it is possible. Yeah,
specifically only for their users.
Yeah. So, and on the phone now, they've switched their little charge port, on the end of it. Now it's a USB-C 3, which is compatible with the newer Thunderbolts also, and backwards compatible, not with the physical connector, but with the data signal. It can step down to USB 3, USB 2, USB, whatever, right?
Did you connect that to a PO adapter?
You could set it to a PO box even and get mail on it, as far as I know. You mean like a pissed off adapter? Yeah, you probably could. Anyway,
the C3PO.
Oh, the C3PO. Yeah, you probably could. That'd be nice. So anyway, it's kind of a mess, and nobody's really fixing it. They're all just kind of playing their own little games on it all. But all that said, I got the Thunderbolt interface because it was supposed to be much faster and lower latency than the USB 2 audio interfaces that could only record up to 4 tracks at simultaneously, typically, maybe 6 with monitoring, and I needed to be able to do 8. And so Thunderbolt was the only game in town because FireWire was a disaster. Also, it was very touch and go on compatibility. FireWire, what a mess that turned out to be. So,
You
and
see
it
what I'm
works.
doing?
But I know it's going away. Fortunately, I think. I think you were proudly promoting graffiti, too proudly. So there you go. That's all you could ever stomach to listen about that kind of stuff. But my audio interface is a really nice high-end $1,000 audio interface, and it generally works, although it does have some driver problems. And so when I'm coming through this microphone, that goes into a mic preamp and then to a compressor, and then it goes into my audio interface, then it goes into my computer. And the sound coming out from the game goes into my audio interface and then out to my headphones and out to my main monitor speakers for mixing or listening or whatever. So it's kind of a regular, you wouldn't call it a regular desktop computer system. It's an audio workstation is what it is, and a video editing workstation, and a music creation workstation, and a photo editing workstation. And then mostly though it's a giant Mechwarrior cockpit.
Artillery strike online.
So it's a workstation.
It's a mech. Is what it is. It's just a mech. The rest of that stuff doesn't really matter.
Target spotted.
Oh, hey, Valen. Hey, Pencil.
Yeah.
Hey,
Hello.
hey, welcome.
It's okay. I already blamed you when I first joined Drax, so it's your fault that it's broken.
I know he broke my stream. Can you believe it?
I would blame Apple for that.
Well,
No, it's
yeah,
your
maybe he
fault.
did. So yeah, and Apple, it doesn't really care about making any of their products really compatible with PCs, which is just really dumb, but that's what they think is the best way to go. So there you go.
Well, yeah, why would they? They have Mac. They don't
Exclusivity,
need to
and-
make things compatible with PC. They had their own brand.
And it sells like hotcakes.
Yeah, to people who don't really know good hardware often. Although they sometimes do make some really nice stuff. It's not like it's all junk.
Target spotted.
No, they make decent products. It's just
Company,
that
and I
their
wish
customer
I was
service is
like,
crap.
Oh yeah, no
And it's
joke.
way too closed off
Finicky.
of a system, I think. I would say there's security advantages to that, but it doesn't seem like there really are with Apple products.
It's the fact that the customer service branch of the Apple conglomerate is so like backwards from every other customer service branch in relation to computers that I've ever seen.
Oh,
And
it's terrible.
I went to school specifically for computer repair. Like that was my
Yeah.
vocation. Like I didn't do that great in high school. I had like an 83% average most of the time, but I went into vocational schooling specifically for IT repair, and you can't go into a vocational program and learn how to work on Mac computers because Mac has their own proprietary stuff. They have their own proprietary training program, their own proprietary certification you have to get just to be allowed to work on their stuff.
Well, it's not only that, it's that if you want to go in and get something taken care of, a lot of it's not repairable. It's like
Yeah, because a lot
throwawayable.
of the stuff because nobody wants to get the certification to do it because
No, because they make their products so if you break the seal on an iPhone, it voids the warranty, even if they do it. And it breaks the waterproofing seal. It's not resealable easily, and it costs more to fix it than it would be to get a new phone or device or iPad or something. But worse than that to me is if you go into an Apple store and say, "Hey, I'd like to buy a phone," they say, "Well, do you have an appointment?" And I say,
why do I
need an
to buy a
appointment to
phone?
buy one of your devices? Well, you have to have an appointment.
It's part of their brand, though.
It's part of their brand to be
Sells,
snobs,
and it
right?
works for them. Yeah, that's because that's who they sell to.
It's
That's who
insulting.
they market for.
It's
And
insulting.
that's
I find it
part of
really
the reason
highly
why
offensive.
I absolutely refuse to have anything to do with them.
I lost a leg.
Left torso.
Are we talking about Apple?
Damage.
Yeah.
Yes, we're talking about Apple.
Yeah, we're talking about
Bags,
Apple.
and I wish ISIS had a soul. Like,
Critical damage.
anyone who
Left
works for
torso
Apple.
destroyed.
I just speak.
I'm dead. I went into the wrong place at the wrong time with the wrong people.
So what does
Some
it
people
sound
get
like
into-
Greg owns a lot of
Okay,
Apple
so
products?
some people getting into actually
Focusing on
working the
Julia.
vocational side of things and trying to learn how to work on computers has no idea how bad
Good, good.
Apple is as a company to work for and stuff like that.
Go,
So
go, go.
I can't fault them for actually going to school and trying to do something about it
Right
because
arm destroyed.
like they're at least trying, even though they're head against the brick wall for doing so. But anyway,
You mean you're sticking up for Apple staff?
no, I'm
No,
sticking
people
up
who-
for the people who are trained to become Apple staff.
Like if you want to get a job for Apple,
They're not, but they're not Apple staff.
They're not Apple staff.
Yeah, fine, whatever.
a lot of times they're subcontractors.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
even so. I
But
mean,
even
if
so,
you can't
they
figure
don't know what
out-
they're getting in for. They usually love the ecosystem and stuff like that. And honestly, I love my phone. So I do love my phone. And I hate Android phones. I hate the Android user interface and experience.
I hit it, these, sir.
But I just don't. I would never buy a Mac desktop, and I would never come near one. And I used to do support for both, so it's not like I don't know enough about it to make it work. I don't like it. And part of that's because I learned on Windows platforms first, and generally what you learn on first is what you tend to prefer.
Yeah, and Windows
So
is-
there's that.
And Windows PCs are more widely accepted in the business world, anyways.
Marauder,
So most of the time,
back
people
there,
look at a Mac and it's like their first time looking at it, and they don't know what they're getting into because it's a Mac and not
It
a
must
PC.
be, and it must be easier, and it must be better, and it must be more artsy.
Yeah, the only cool thing I've ever experienced as far as a Mac computer goes was GarageBand, and that's it.
Garage Games is cool. I mean, GarageBand is cool.
No. GarageBand for music mixing and stuff
Yeah.
like that. I
But
did
it's
that-
terrible for actually studio work. You can't.
Yeah.
You can make an album with it, but you shouldn't. If you
Yeah.
want to actually do other stuff that you would normally want to do in an album project. But it's certainly a fantastic creative tool to get started with, and as a scratch pad and stuff.
Yeah. One of the things I was actually learning in high school was the ability to, I took a music program. I don't remember exactly what the program was for, but it was
thanks for the
essentially
resub.
making- It was
I got a job, guys. Got to know.
Okay.
Have a good one, Drax.
Yeah.
It was
All right.
essentially learning how to make tracks with GarageBand, learning how to alter sound with GarageBand and do things like that, and adjust tempo and so on and so
Yeah.
forth. I don't remember the exact designation of the program, but that's essentially what it was. And that was like all we did when we first logged in or when we first got into the program, they sat us down and each one of us had a Mac workstation that we worked on. And
Panzer, do you mind if I give Valen the invite since he was, I think, here? I don't know who was here first, actually.
go ahead.
No,
Go
Panzer
ahead.
can go ahead. Panzer's fine.
I'm not even in the game, so go ahead.
I'm not either.
Wow.
So there you go.
Wow.
You guys can fight for the slot.
Anyways,
Somebody should get in so I can give you a invite.
I
What about
suppose-
Kakia?
I suppose.
Kakia, do you want to come over here and drop with us? Just say yeah. Well, then get on over here. Do you have the link? You want to come and get on comms? Here's the link to Discord. If I can type,
Just
no,
keep
I
in mind,
can't.
We're a little crazy.
We're
Yeah.
a lot crazy. What are you talking about?
I mean, they've been listening
Don't
to
know
us
that.
this entire time.
There's
so-
the link to Discord. You'll drop in. I don't think you've been in my Discord yet. You'll drop into the landing zone. I'll come up and give you permissions. Then you can drop down to Ghostlance Special Ops channel, which is under Interactive Media, which is below the regular drop channels. Ba-dum. And then if you get over into looking for group, I'll add us over there and I'll pick you up there.
Once you've truly mastered Mechwarrior Online, at least the energy weapons and the arms, then you can draw pictures in the snow.
Oh, I know. I have.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so War Thunder. Do we all know what that is?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. They
Okay,
just
I'll go up
released
there.
a patch that bombs dropped from aircraft now make a crater, like an actual crater in the ground that you can drive tanks into, right, and hide and stuff.
Yeah.
The first thing the internet does,
Is make images with the craters.
yes. And what do you think they did?
Phallic images.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very first thing that they did. They're like, wait, we can draw on the ground now. So now there's these massive images in the battlefield.
Kiki, I don't see you in here.
We are
In the landing- you're
we
in the
are
landing zone?
12, and we are weird and ridiculous, and we will draw phallic symbols in whatever you can give us the medium for.
This is the internet. It doesn't matter how old you are. It happens everywhere.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. We're all 12,
Oh,
and this
okay, I
is what
get
we
it.
do.
Oddly enough, I don't draw phallic symbols in.
If
the
you
snow.
want to pass me the crown, I'll invite him.
Okay, thanks, because I'm not seeing him there. I'm not sure. I've got 2 McFishes here, so I'm not sure who I just gave the crown to. Because when
Give it
Drax
to
left,
Bitch.
okay, when
There we
Drax
go.
left, it kind of screwed things up.
All right.
All right, I will. So you are on my friends list, okay? But I didn't find it fast enough. So you're in. That's good. But are you coming over to comms? I don't see you here in. Are you already in? Oh, you're already in. Okay, gotcha.
He's in comms.
I'm catching up. I'm catching up.
Are you?
Well, slowly
No,
but
I am
surely.
not catching up. I am not at all catching up. But I'm trying to give the illusion of someone catching up.
You shouldn't tell fibs.
It's not so much fib as a wishful futuristic fantasy story.
Nice try. It's a fib.
So McFish wants grim plexus.
What? The grim plexus surrounds you, beckons you to the
Man.
grave.
Why does Mechwarrior Online have to come out with interesting packs when I'm low on money?
What's the pack they came out with?
The Predator booster pack.
The
What's in it?
No, not the Phoenix. It's a
Predator booster pack gets you a Blood Asp and a Shadow Cat.
yeah, with
Correction, it gets you 2 Blood Asps and 2 Shadow Cats.
Oh,
yeah. It's just like
Okay.
the
And
warning
8 million
pack.
C-bills, and 200 GSP, and two cockpit items, and a themed badge, decal, title, bolt-ons, and so on.
How much is it?
All the things that come with one of those packs.
$20.
It's not bad, at least. $5 a mech. That's much more reasonable.
Yeah.
Which the Hunter booster pack?
This one is the Predator booster pack.
I don't see that.
Winter is the new Stalker and the Phoenix Hawk.
Which I have.
I see the Hunter
Hunter
booster
pack I
pack that
have.
has the Hunter booster. Bonus sale. Event page.
They've
Phoenix
got
Hawks and
3 of them that are
Stalkers.
basically very similar like that. They've got the Hunter, they've got the Predator. Actually, they've got a couple of them, actually. They've got Striker, Warden, Hunter, and Predator right now.
Where are you in the store?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well,
that's
I'm
what
on the
saying.
I'm on the store on the webpage. They got Striker, Warden, Hunter, and Predator.
Okay, I'm just trying to go see what you're seeing. There's the Predator booster pack.
I'm
Yeah.
just waiting for the loyalty mechs. Viper with ECM.
Because we need another Black Lantern.
I mean, you could.
I got a lot of. I got a lot
It
of
depends on how much you want to punish yourself.
mechs in there.
No, people will. There is no you could. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, well, that's true, I guess.
Is Tourmaline Desert close enough to Grim Plexus?
What do you want? Too late. I gotta
Lava's
pick.
great. Desert's great.
Yeah,
Fog is
totally.
tier 2.
Okay, where's...
And McFish, no, you can't have that. No,
Can't have what?
just no. He wants a Hunchback 2C-4 with ECM and Clan Racks.
Well, I have to release Clan Rax first.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. No, he can't have those.
I was really disappointed when I went to go do one of my builds. They didn't have a rack. I had to go with UX instead
Why is that a problem? They don't jam as often.
because I like my rack.
I
Hi, everybody.
I get it.
Everybody
but
likes a rack, but I mean, I couldn't
Is
help
that
it.
Woody
It was right
Woodpecker?
there. Yes.
Yep.
Sure.
All right, what's the loadout on this thing? Why ferrofibrous armor? No.
I mean, I've got a hunchy. I think I've got 2 hunchies. I got a 2C and a regular hunchy.
I don't need mask.
Fish has been recognized. Or it's just because he said something, I don't know.
Right, because he said something. It's his fault.
Vroom, vroom!
I've got a hunchy with 2 rack 2s, I think. It shreds pretty decently.
Looks like I got all the.
You with the Timberwolf.
Yes.
What's your...
Oh, I got a whole
What's
bunch
your
of loot
build?
bags to go into
Oh
here.
gosh.
Oh, I think it's. Trying to remember. It's 2 ER larges and 5 or 6 ER medium, or ER medium lasers.
I have 2 large pulse, 3 medium pulse, and 2 heavy mediums.
Yeah. See, my main weapon is to literally assault your eyes so you can't see me.
Artillery strike online.
That doesn't affect me. I just close my eyes when I play, and then you're totally, worthless tactic. Doesn't affect me.
Yep, but then it's harder for you to shoot. See.
I shoot with the
but
force.
nobody would
I
know
use the
the
force.
difference.
I know. No one can tell.
Why is that guy firing into the air? Don't worry.
Don't worry.
Dark
He's just
Marauder.
doing what he
It's a regular
does.
thing.
It's what he does. He thinks it's entertaining. People come watch him do it for some reason. Who knows why?
Because it's entertaining.
It's entertaining.
Target spotted.
Yeah, but he's shooting up into the air. Yeah, there's a planet up there somewhere he thinks he's ridding evil from. It'll take 1,000 years for it to get there.
Target spotted.
Yeah, some planets getting a really good light show.
Yep.
Target acquired.
I like when a mech stops right in the middle of a narrow channel and stops everybody.
Target
Oh
spotted.
yeah, it's fantastic.
Like a Fafnir is like wide enough to stop the whole world. Kakia, you're just like asking for trouble down there.
Target spotted. Target spotted.
So there's 4 of them right here over the little ridge. Right in this little
Excuse me.
valley slope.
Pardon me, coming through. Excuse me, pardon me, coming through.
Oh, here they go.
I have to say, the samurai banners on the mechs always makes me laugh.
All right, I don't want to be the guy they shoot at while I'm poking up here. So I'm going to back out just like everybody else did. Maybe I'll be alive by the time it's over.
Probably.
I lost 20 points of armor just standing there like a doof thinking you guys were going to come up with me, but nobody did.
Of course they're
In the
not.
battlefield, 2 people poked their heads up and got whacked.
Artillery strike online.
Dark, don't you know? You're the bait right now.
I'm the
'cause I'm
bait.
not on.
Well, I didn't need that arm anyway.
Target spotted. Target spotted.
This is but a flesh wound.
Yeah.
Go back into fight. I'm gonna follow the Fafnir. As long as he
Don't
doesn't
do
back up.
Following the Fafnir is a bad idea.
Artillery strike online.
Nah.
Thanks.
He punches really big holes in things. It'll be alright.
That's only sometimes. Not all Fafnirs do that.
Well, then they're doing it wrong.
Oh, that's the whole point. That's why you don't always follow the Fafnir.
I got stuck in a rock.
Oops.
Yeah, I got free.
The things you hear in Dark Marauder streams.
I mean,
have you listened to some other streamers?
Target spotted.
The absolute pandemonium that happens on their channel?
No.
have you guys
Heat level critical.
seen Sean Lang just basically screw around?
Yes.
Oh, somebody shoot the crab, please, before he
Got
kills
him.
me.
Ah!
Target spotted.
Oh, this crab. I
Yep.
shot a different
Heat
crab.
level critical.
Okay, he's done.
Thank you. There's another guy
Incoming
past him.
missile.
2 more.
Left arm critical
Yeah.
damage. Warning, incoming missile.
Well, if you stop overheating in the middle of the alleyway,
I can't help it.
Right?
It's my style. This is my style.
It definitely is.
Wait,
no,
your style is to
is-
shut down in front of the
Oh.
enemy? Yes, that's my style.
No. Your style is to poke and get annihilated, and you
Oh,
already
there's
messed
that
up.
too. Yeah,
Strike online.
I've already done that.
No.
Target spotted.
Don't hurt me. Okay. He's running away from red smoke. And a Timberwolf is following me. Although it sounds like someone just killed him.
Oh, I'm running out of... I'm just doing really poorly.
If it makes you feel better, if somebody sneezes on me, I'm dead.
Achoo.
You gotta come to, come over here and do that.
Okay, hold on. Achoo.
The range and velocity of a sneeze is not that far.
Evidently, it's not quite 6 feet.
Time to cap something.
Right. Yeah, there's no way I'm gonna catch that viper.
Oh, way over there.
Target acquired.
So, okay, I have to ask this question, because we talked about this last week.
Wait, you remember what we talked about last week? That's impressive.
Yeah, yes I do.
All right.
Mechwarrior 5 is... I thought it was on Monday, today. And Drax is like, no, it was Sunday. It was yesterday.
So,
Okay,
if you're in a...
problem, I can solve your problem right now. It's Drax's Monday, which is our Sunday.
Yeah.
Okay, see, I was confused. That's... Okay.
This is when you start playing with people across the international date line.
And they don't know what day it really is.
Darn it, Drax.
Target spotted.
Target destroyed.
Oh yeah, he's not here to defend himself now. Haha.
Haha.
there, at the camera.
Drax, you're a horrible person for doing
Need
this
to
to me.
capture
I
the
wanted to
point.
play Mechwarrior 5.
Actually,
So
I
I
think
could get...
if he's a
so I
horrible
could-
person,
I
it's
could-
because he went and ate a hamburger while we're getting killed. That's pretty horrible. But go
Well,
on.
see, I wouldn't- I would've-
No. So see, because that's my fault for talking about hamburgers when he was in stream one day.
And we were all distracted about the time then. It was like, hamburger? It's hamburger time. Well, we're going to play at hamburger time.
Yeah. No. But see, it's still Drax's fault.
Yeah.
That's
No,
that's
no,
my
no, no. That one's my fault.
No. It's always Drax's fault.
Always Drax's
Don't blame
fault.
yourself. Drax put the idea in your head to start talking about hamburgers
Yeah.
to then make himself hungry. It just...
Nah,
It was subliminal.
Work put the idea in my head.
And he just drug us along towards the grill.
Yeah.
I'm getting hungry again just thinking about it.
Hey, at least he wasn't dragging you across the grill.
That's right. Like we're doing to him right now.
Target spotted.
It's
Yeah,
okay.
MechWarrior
He's used
5,
to
the arty strikes leave big craters. It's nice.
it. Yeah. So that means that next Sunday, I will have to either be on Dark Marauder's game or in a game with Dark Marauder so I can find him his Night Star.
Oh, is there a Night Star in there for me to find somewhere? That was the thing,
There
right?
is.
Spotted.
You basically have to go across the entire...
I don't have enough
Inner
money to
sphere.
even go to the next planet at the moment because we lost most of my 12 million sea bills
Yeah,
last
so
night.
the next time we play is literally going to be doing low-end missions to get him more sea bills.
Okay.
Target spotted.
Yeah, because if you go across to...
Good work, guys.
Is it at the top right of the map somewhere? Like it was in the campaign?
Yeah, it's in the campaign, but I don't think it's...
So,
the top
Raptor Guy,
one.
are you
It's-
in Australia like Drax is?
No. No, I'm in a regular country.
No, is Raptor Guy Lonely and Ronin? I'm so confused again.
Raptor guy's in Finland.
Finland, okay. Well, I didn't do as horribly that time.
I did half the damage you did.
It's okay as long as we all know the golden rule about that. You don't mess with the Finns.
Right. That's I'm trying to think of some good fish pun, but I can't.
Well, it might just.
No, that's a historical military rule. You don't mess with the Finns.
Why is that?
Yep, it's found that out the hard way.
Like, what will they do to you?
They will hand you your behind, basically.
They're very good at winter combat and guerrilla tactics.
How is that possible since guerrillas hate winter? I would think guerrillas would just kind of...
You ever heard of a Yeti?
Yeah, oh, that's true. Yeah. Yeah.
I was gonna say.
Yetis might just be Finn special forces in big polar bear suits.
Yeah, that's canon now.
I didn't know Finland actually even had a military. Sorry.
They do. They very much do.
All of those nations do, at least now.
And actually,
Like, how big of a military is it? How many people are in it? And does that include...
I had a friend...
Does that number include dog sleds and dogs, I mean?
A couple years ago, I had a friend who actually lived in Finland, and when he was talking about the Finnish military, he was like, "It's actually a really good idea for the majority of young men and women to actually join the Finnish military because they actually, or if you go through the training and you do all of that, they actually help pay for your education if you decide to go to college."
All right, cool. Well, that's like Switzerland. You have to.
for.
Everybody joins. Runs in the military for a while.
Yeah.
Serves, not runs. Maybe they run too.
In Sweden, it's mandatory, at least I think 2 or 4 years, I forget which, and you're issued a rifle and you get to keep the rifle. So you have, like, every household has at least one firearm in it.
Oh wow.
For Finland, you can. In Finland, I believe you can own a rifle, but you can't keep it anywhere but a range.
Oh, they border Russia. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would make sense. I would not want Russia coming and invading me either. That's like, is it Croatia they were in? Or Ukraine? Where did they invade last?
I feel like this could be painful.
The Ukraine was the last place
Yeah.
that they
Howdy, everybody.
forced themselves upon.
They're still kind of in there, aren't they? They haven't. Did they really leave?
I actually don't know the answer to that.
The reason I ask about Ukraine is because I have a guy that I found on Fiverr to help do some music notation at a rate I can actually afford. And he's in the Ukraine, and he's a really talented cello player, and he plays at the university, in the university orchestra, as a paid position, but it's part-time. And he makes $6 an hour playing professionally the cello in an orchestra. So when I $6 an hour, when I pay him, $50 to script out a song for me, to him it's great, and to me it's like great. It's about half the cost of what it would cost me to do it here locally.
Is that dollars, or is that the Ukrainian money that you?
The equivalent of about $6 an hour.
Target spotted.
I think he makes, I don't remember the exact numbers, but I think he makes about $300 a month or so.
Target spotted.
And half of that goes to living and food and expenses. Well, all of it by the time he's all done, and rent, right?
Target spotted.
6 USD is 157 Ukrainian hryvnia.
Hryvnia.
I feel like they may have taken up some strong positions in Echo 6 there.
Artillery strike.
Target spotted.
Well, I don't want to stay there.
Oh, so 157.
Target
We got a
spotted.
Phoenix Hawk coming on our left, up behind us.
Affirmative.
Target acquired.
I'm going to come say hello to him also. They got a lot of lerms, don't they?
I mean, I have 60 of them, so.
Target spotted.
They have a lot of long-range weapons, too. I'm down 20 points of armor, and I haven't even found anybody to shoot at.
Didn't help they had a UAV right on top of us.
Target spotted. Affirmative.
Well,
Sniper in G6.
I think if we stay back, we're going to get chewed away. I think we need to move into a closer range where we can do some damage.
If you're gonna do something, you gotta do it quick.
I don't know where to go.
Left torso.
I know I just got shot by my own guy. Thanks a lot.
Well, you stepped in front of me.
I know. I thought I was underneath your guns, and because you were aiming up, and I was down slope. So I thought, oh, I can sneak under him.
We'll see. We'll see, Dark. The problem is you're in an assault mech. You're kind of tall.
Yeah.
I'm just getting hammered.
Okay, well, if it makes you feel any better, I just unloaded half of my missile barrage into your back.
Oh, thank you. It does feel... I got rid of the itch. Got rid of the back.
Got something sniping behind us.
Target spotted.
Okay, that stalker is, like, rushing us.
Target spotted.
Speaking of stalkers, I need to actually check mine out. And,
I can't get up there. I thought maybe I could. Oh, there's a sniper up there, too. Holy cow.
Half of us rotated, half of us didn't. This is not going to end well.
Target spotted.
Well, the problem is, like, that map from the side you guys are fighting on is really hard to maneuver on, especially if the enemy is taking the positions they have. Because if you actually look at where they're positioned, they've got you pincered.
Yeah.
So you have to either pick a direction and commit, and all commit at the same time, or stand there and wait for them to make some stupid mistake. And
Kakaya, we should
they don't
go
look like
over
they're
there.
making very many of those.
No.
Target destroyed.
Okay, cool.
We're actually winning now that I'm not helping.
Affirmative.
Well, they've decided to split their forces too, it looks like, because we keep getting run up on by lights and mediums.
Target spotted. Target spotted.
Warning incoming.
That's cool.
Back to the missiles.
Warning incoming.
I'm dead. I don't even know where they came from. I don't know where that guy is. 44 damage. That was terrible. I'm gonna blame Drax for that. Thanks, Smirkaman. Brinkaman. Brinkaman. Brink of Man.
Is that's a freaking dirt bike as a bolt-on for this stalker.
Oh, really?
Talking about the back end of it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a World of Tanks.
Yeah, it's still there. Kakaya, I see.
Premium
Thank you.
that has the same bolt-on.
Well, they got the bolt-on consists of a rubber dinghy.
A rubber dinghy. So he's amphibious. He can go in the water. That's great.
The bolt-on for this is the bolt-on for the stalker hunter. It has a dirt bike, it has a rubber dinghy, and it has what look to be just survival stuff. It also has ghillie wraps for the left arm, right arm, and head.
Target spotted.
Dealy wraps?
Ghillie wraps.
You seen Hellbringer movie?
Sir.
What are those?
It's just camouflage netting for the outside of the mech.
Oh.
Oh, I shot in the back.
Delta 6, Delta 7.
Oh, nope.
Ooh, slightly more money.
Slightly more money. Good night.
Little tip there. Thanks, Brinkman Man. That eases the edge off the terrible match I just had of only 44 damage and getting slaughtered. So appreciate it.
I'm sure. Yeah, I have 461 skill points available to use on this mech. I could immediately skill it out.
Aaron,
I'm not gonna do
yes.
that. I'm actually going to use the experience
Age
that I
47, Ag 47.
and do it the slow way.
They can field 1 million soldiers needed out of a country of 5 million people. That's impressive. That's really impressive.
E7 sniper, Raven, large lasers.
What do they do with their whole gun control issue? Like if every house has one. Finland, yeah. Do they have lots of?
I was talking about Sweden when I was talking about that.
I thought you were talking about Finland. Sweden. What does Sweden do then? Do they worry about it much, or do they have problems with it much, or is it just America that does?
Society is a polite society, sir.
Well,
and
that's what I would.
Use of their weapons.
That's kind of what I've always thought, but I'm obviously wrong. So my question is, what about in Finland? What happens?
No, you're not necessarily wrong. Ow. So my dad has always said the same thing too.
What?
An armed society is a polite society.
Left arm destroyed. Autocannon destroyed.
It is.
Laser destroyed. Warning.
But then again,
Because if everybody is armed,
acquired.
suddenly the gangsters don't have any power because everybody has a gun, not just them.
Right,
you know?
I was getting my phone paid off today, and I went into the T-Mobile store, and on the sign, you have to wait outside till they get
Ravenstown.
a spot for you to come in because they're minimizing the number of people inside the store. And there on the sign is a little sign with a gun and a circle and a cross through it, a slash through it. It says no firearms permitted on the premises. And I'm thinking, what? Like, that's not going to stop somebody with a gun that wants to come in. Like, it's the silliest thing.
Days from that,
It's not for the
LRM
criminals.
I know it's for the law-abiding citizens. Yeah.
Something I've always said is you take away the right of a law-abiding citizen to defend
Echo 5,
themselves,
Fox 5, Fox
and
6.
suddenly you're going to have a skyrocket in, B&Es and all
Cool
kinds
and
of
all,
stuff.
but I'm
because,
at 25%.
hey, just look at what happened in the UK and Australia,
It's
where
okay,
they
I got
basically outlawed firearms altogether.
Good
In
man.
the UK, they're thinking about outlawing any blade over 4 inches.
Well, they
which
have to
includes
because
butter
people are
knives.
hitting each other with clubs and hammers and stabbing each other.
Yeah, so I mean, what are they going to do when people move on to something else?
They're
Or just
gonna
start
outlaw
using their
spoons.
fists?
They're gonna
Are they
find
gonna
him.
Outlaw fists now?
Spoons.
I mean,
No, spoons are
look at
dangerous if
Australia.
used correctly.
well,
they're
yeah, I mean,
sporks.
that's my point. Is anything is dangerous if it's utilized correctly?
Yeah, I agree.
Like if you so I've actually gone looking into this for a little bit. If you look at Australia, their gun death plummeted to almost zero, mind you.
Yeah.
Almost
Doesn't
zero.
seem to be in the pit over here.
And
Because where there's a will, there's a way. Even if it's illegal, somebody's going to get a hold of it.
Yeah.
So
well, criminals
it's not
don't
gonna
care.
go-
They break the law no matter what. So why do
Right.
they care if
Exactly.
you can't have a gun?
Right.
But no, their violent crime involving fists and feet went up dramatically.
And what about
And it's actually-
death by
it's actually
knife
funny
and
because
club and stuff?
that went up, but oddly enough,
Target
the death
acquired.
by other weapon went up even more dramatically than anything else.
Oh, like death by cat, for example.
No, like somebody grabbing a stool and
He's
bludgeoning
trying to
you.
make it funny to break the seriousness.
No, I just
Oh.
there's got to be a million ways to kill somebody, and an angry cat has got to be an effective one.
But like bar stools or tray tables,
Right.
something that you can grab to hit somebody with is
Live by the lock on.
expensive
die by
and
the
other,
lock on.
and those went up exponentially.
Right. But then they just tout, we've lowered gun deaths. It was a success.
As
yeah.
a successful statistic,
Yeah.
right?
England's got the same problem. Their death by other means, typically knives and clubs and things like that, has gone way up. So they haven't
You don't
reduced murders much, if at all. They've just changed the method.
Right.
I believe that, personally, this is just a fundamental belief of mine as somebody who lives in New York, in upstate New York, and hunts. I live in a rural area, so a lot of times, depending on whether or not we have a decent job and stuff like that, it's a lot cheaper for us to go buy a box of ammo and go spend like an hour or 2 or 3 in the woods, bring home a deer or a pig or something like that, and feed our family for a couple months. It's cheaper than going to the grocery store. So on that respect, I was brought up with a very strong respect for firearms and firearms safety and so on and so forth. And I think as someone who has been part of that world, it is a very, in my opinion, it is a responsibility to at least know how to use the item, rather, or even
Or
if
overturned.
you don't like them.
Education is paramount. In ye good old days, quote unquote, they used to have shooting clubs in the schools.
Oh yeah, years ago. Yeah.
Archery practice is still practiced.
And you could have trucks
Right,
in
but
the
it's
trucks
not-
outside the
it's not
school
the
in the parking
firearm.
lot with a rack with guns in it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that didn't get removed in my high school until 9/11. I mean, you look in my yearbook, and even after the rule went into effect, you can still see in the back window of some of the trucks, there's still a shotgun or a hunting rifle in the back window.
Can somebody ton down 5 tons? Thank you.
And I graduated in 2005, by the way.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Usually, basically after Columbine, it got serious over here in New York. Like people, after Columbine, people stopped bringing their firearms to school, or if they did, it was because.
Hey, Aaron. Yes, you're saying you can own hunting firearms and pistols in Finland. Automatics, no. Semi-automatics or fully automatics? Because here in America, you can own, a handgun is a semi-automatic weapon here in the States, and most hunting rifles, you can pull the trigger and it will fire as often as you pull the trigger, which is semi-automatic. But you can't have a fully automatic without a very expensive license and all sorts of extra rigmarole. Semis are fine.
Not as expensive as you might think.
Well, the permit's like $3,000, isn't it?
I think it depends on where you live.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Different states regulate that differently.
Okay.
Right. If you're and the paperwork and the fee for getting, say, a suppressor is actually very easy and and cheap. It's like $300 to $400
for a silencer, a noise suppressor.
Yeah, I was gonna say a suppressor because it's not really a silencer.
Yeah, I know.
But anyway, it just takes a while for the paperwork to get processed, like 8 to 18 months.
How much muzzle velocity does a noise suppressor pull off of the round?
Like, depends on the ammunition used.
Yeah. And the type of silencer, right?
Enough to make it subsonic. Yeah.
Does it always make it subsonic?
Or you're also supposed to use specialized ammunition to actually make it suppressed. But if you use regular ammunition, it still goes supersonic. You just don't hear the report from the end of the rifle as much.
Yeah.
So instead of, say, shooting a 50 caliber rifle and blowing out your eardrums, it sounds more like a 9mm instead of blowing you away.
It's still audible no matter what. It's just how audible is the question.
Yeah.
And that depends on the caliber, the ammunition used, so on and so forth.
Yeah. I don't know how easy it is to get subsonic ammunition. I've never looked into that, but.
Well, now there's an ammo shortage, so not exactly as easy as it used to be.
Especially if you own an AK, dang it, or any kind of Russian ammunition. Stupid.
Don't you think? Do you feel like that's an engineered shortage, or is it just a regular shortage from?
Oh, definitely engineered shortage.
Well, it's a little bit of both. So, because of COVID, you have all these people who are no longer working in the factories and producing ammunition. So you have that going for it. And then you have the government putting sanctions on things like imported Russian ammunition. And that put a strain on the supply as well.
It's imported Russian ammunition for U.S. caliber rifles?
Yeah, because the company, say Tula, for instance, they manufacture and export to the United States everything from 7.62 in various sizes to 5.56, 9mm. They make everything.
Yeah.
As long as you don't mind steel casings.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's different. American ammunition manufacturers oftentimes use brass.
Yeah.
As their casings for their rounds. And Russia uses steel casings for their rounds.
Why is that? Just more available for them, cheaper?
It's just what they've always done. Oh. And here we've always used brass.
Yeah.
I don't know what the differences is exactly. I think brass is a little smoother than
and it's more
steel,
malleable.
And it runs well, yeah, but it also runs through the action easier because it's smoother. It's slick.
So
and Russian
does that mean less jamming
usually,
or not necessarily?
It can. I mean, something like an AK, which is meant to use steel-cased ammunition because that's how it was designed. It's fine. It also the AKs also have a much larger tolerance for abuse than, say, an Armalite rifle.
Yeah.
But the Russian ammo also
online.
typically has a more corrosive powder in it as well.
Oh, interesting. But would it corrode the brass?
No, it would corrode the inside of the barrel after it's fired if you don't clean it out every time you use it.
Wow.
Yeah, when firearms are, I don't know how deep you want to get into this, but firearms are one of those things where, like, depending on the ammunition you use and how corrosive it is, you really need to pay attention to the actual action of the firearm itself, because if you're using really high powder count rifles and stuff like that, or ammunition and stuff like that, you're gonna corrode your barrel a lot faster than you would with like standard ammunition. And it's just one of those things where you have to make sure that you're maintaining your tools, because a firearm is a tool, and you have to treat it well, otherwise it won't function.
Properly oiled, clean, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
It's like, perfect example, it's like an instrument. You have to take care of the instrument, otherwise it won't perform well.
Yeah.
Artillery strike online. Artillery strike activated.
Wow, I'm getting hammered again.
Damage.
I thought I was with the group, and I'm just getting...
You weren't paying attention when everybody moved off, I think.
Well, now I'm in this spot. I'm just going to try to sneak out, but I'm not going to be able to.
I got you covered.
Who's in there? But I can't move.
I'm above you.
Ah!
Torso critical.
Darn it, there's a wall here.
You're zoomed too far in.
I couldn't get around that little thing poking out on the right. I didn't realize how far out it was. Well, that was bad.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You're zoomed so far in.
No, but I was backing up. I was backing up, so I was on something. There's that wall doesn't go straight down at the corner. It protrudes out, and I was stuck on the protrusion. I was trying to slide out along the wall and then curve around it real quickly to get cover, and I couldn't figure out why. No, I didn't see everybody leave there. That's true. Yeah, I've been shooting a few times with friends and stuff, and I've always enjoyed doing it.
It's a lot of fun, and it's perfectly safe as long as you treat the firearms with respect and understand what they're capable of.
Oh, I remember my dad taking me out when I was little.
Treating the range with respect and the people you're around.
Yeah.
That too. I mean, people do plenty of dumb things. We have the Darwin Awards for a reason.
Right. Right. I have a lot of wood tools and shop tools and stuff, and I probably have 20 different tools that are highly effective at killing people if you wanted to use them that way. So I've always had that same kind of thought, like, wait, you can kill people so many different ways if you want to. And I have nail guns that don't need a compressor. They use a butane cartridge and electric spark. And you can put a 16-penny nail into somebody's chest pretty easily. It's, I've got chop saws and table saws and sawzalls and chisels and razor sharp wood carving tools and lots of ways to get hurt and lose appendages in my shop.
I mean, by that logic, my house, let alone my garage, is chock full of assault weapons.
Yeah.
Target spotted.
Well, not in the definition that it's used in the media, but...
But you know darn well that I make sure my kids are well aware of how dangerous those tools are and how they need to be afraid of them enough that they're super careful with them. Not so afraid that they don't use them safely either.
Even working as a line cook can be considered pretty dangerous.
Yeah.
Gotta pay attention to what you're doing. You burn yourself or any number.
They call it a kettle in the kitchen, but it's basically a huge vat that they use to make things like the marinara sauce and to like boil the pasta for lasagna and to make broths and so on and so forth.
How big is it?
Pretty big, like big enough to where I'm a 6'2", 130-pound man, and I could actually get in this thing and sit down inside it, and nobody would know I was there. It's that big.
Wow. So like 40 gallons, maybe.
Yeah, it's big.
Is that on a Hobart mixer stand kind of thing, or just a burner?
No, it's just a big. It's essentially a big pressure cooker.
Okay.
And a lid and everything that locks like a pressure cooker.
Wow.
We open it up and we use that to make the marinara sauce and stuff like that because it's self-heating and stuff.
Yeah. And then does it tilt to pour out, or how do you?
Yeah. It tilts to pour out, and it has a spigot on the bottom that you could actually open and shut a valve.
Okay.
To,
yeah.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
It's
That's an expensive piece of gear.
The reason why I was bringing that up is that's 40 gallons worth of boiling hot liquid that at any time could be triggered to either dump or spray onto somebody's leg. And guess what? That's a 3rd-degree burn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And plus, you got plenty of knives.
McFish,
you're going to have to carry harder. I'm doing really poorly tonight. You need to.
Same.
You're going to have to really step it up.
I mean, he was the last one alive.
I know, you're doing well. I think you need to double your effort. I could get into a different mech for I'm going to do one more drop, so I'll get into a different mech here.
Okay.
Don't be like Drax. Come on, you can do it. Push through.
No, I gotta go to bed. It's getting late. I really want to get Jessica's music video edited most of the way done tomorrow. And
that guy Benihana is an assassin in my book. Yes, exactly.
Right.
Benihana.
You grew up in New York, out in the wilds.
Yes, the wilds. We'll say in air quotes.
Oh yeah.
I grew up in the Rocky Mountains of Montana, in a little town of less than 10,000 people.
There's some tonnage available if somebody wants it.
Yeah, and there's
So
there's
I
rules
grew up
even in New York that we have to abide by because the area that I live on is rural, but there's a lot of hills and valleys and horse farms and cattle farms and stuff nearby. So we can't use anything super powerful like a 243 rifle or anything like that because there's horse farms on either side of the hunting properties that we would go for. So we're limited to shotguns and pistols and things like that, and maybe bows on occasion. But basically that's what we have to work with. But even then, that's a lot of stuff that you could actually get hurt on, or hurt somebody else with if you're not paying attention.
Where I grew up, it's the Cabinet Mountain Range in the Rocky Mountains, and it's all, well, not all, but it's the vast majority of it is national forest land. So it's all open. It's not privately owned. You don't have to go ask somebody to go hunting up there. But that's how I grew up too. Was going out and hunting every year, every season. Go out and hunting. I had
sometimes several times a year because of the different seasons that are available.
Well, we only did like deer and elk, so it's basically.
Do you ever go bow hunting
over the winter? Me? No.
Yeah.
I'm fairly decent at archery, but not proficient enough to actually go hunting with it.
I have gone bow hunting with somebody else, but they had the bow, and I was basically there to help spot.
I have a friend. He passed away years ago, but he was an avid bow hunter. And you'd put an arrow in an elk or something, and you'd have to chase it down for 5 miles.
That's the same hunting with rifles too, especially if you didn't hit it just right.
Yeah.
Sensors
online.
Online.
In New York, and I'm sure in other states too, but in New York, when you're actually growing up, when you get to about 12, 13, 14 years old, and you're in a hunting household, usually the first thing that happens on your 12th or 13th birthday is you schedule an appointment with a local hunting club to go and learn a hunter safety course. It's the first thing that happens. Like,
Fish and Wildlife did the classes in my town.
Yeah. You do hunter safety courses.
You had teachers that were fish?
Yes.
Wow, that's cool.
The Fish and Wildlife Department of Montana. Smart guy.
I am smart guy. Very smart guy. Get 44 damage.
Depending on... and then after you complete your hunter safety course, you get a little orange card, or mine was orange anyway, that fits in your wallet, and then you can go to any outdoor department store or anything like that sells hunting licenses, and you can show them that card, and you can get a sportsman's license, which could range anywhere from $30 to $120 depending on the license you get.
They see us over here.
What?
Yeah, I'm not gonna stick around here. I'm gonna go around the other way.
Yep.
I think my license is $70 for my hunting stuff. But that
See,
also
hunting
includes
licenses
fishing
seem like
license
they've
as
gotten
well.
out of hand on expense.
Yeah, that also includes my fishing license on top of that. So I pay for both together. Because in New York State, you can't. Well, okay.
Is it for the whole season?
You can't legally go and fish without having a fishing license. But if you have a hunting license, you can get a fishing license anyway.
Same thing here in California.
Like a combo license?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's like 3
The only
tiers
difference
of hunting license that you can go and get.
The only difference is out here in California.
We
you
go
have to get
hunting
both
here in
separate.
Washington, where I am now, but I have to go through Hunter's Ed again. I don't really have the time or the
patience
want to do that again.
Yeah.
Target spotted.
Oop.
There's like the regular hunting license, the sportsman, and the super sportsman.
Okay, they're all right
Super
here,
sportsman
guys.
is like the big ticket one.
Affirmative. Target spotted.
Yeah. In Montana, you had to get a lottery. You had to apply for a lottery to get a ticket for an elk or a moose.
Target spotted. Target spotted. Target spotted.
I got to get some distance on this battle here.
And what you get for the money you spend, depending on the license that you get in New York, is you get more tags to use for that season. So the super sportsman gets the most tags out of everything, and they get a good variety of tags depending on the game that they're trying to hunt. So you got several buck tags, several doe tags, a bear tag, and some other things.
I'm backing up.
Oh wow,
I
that lets you hunt.
stopped moving. What's going on?
Yeah, I know. I couldn't get out of your way because I was turned sideways.
Marauder in the low ground.
Target spotted.
Yep. Okay, I think it's time to... Oh, wow, we're getting rolled.
Yeah, we are.
Target spotted.
It's really bad.
Well, you guys are doing the French thing, so.
That's true. And the Italian thing. Oops, I saw that nice roll off the back. That looked great on the stream. Very nice, impressive.
I was gonna say,
Like,
oh man, I'm down to 3 lasers, and then that last missile barrage, and I fell over the cliff.
Ouch, they weren't my left torso.
Hey, you're one of the last 2 people. Oh, never mind.
I'm down now.
Actually, I was wrong earlier. I got my particular hunting license
Wow.
in 2010. I got it on September 18th, 2010.
Okay.
So I went shooting with some friends a while ago, and we went out. Like I've shot probably 3 times in the last 3 years. Twice at a range and once out, just kind of out up. There's an area up at the hills that people go to shoot where there's kind of not really a range, but everybody's up there doing it.
Well, on national forest land, there are no restrictions on discharging firearms.
So anyway,
I
think I've tried like 6 different handguns, and one, I don't remember what it was, but one of them just felt great when shooting. Like it felt like whatever I aimed at, I could hit. And I'm a pretty good shot actually anyway, but it just felt effortless compared to all the other ones. So if I was going to get a handgun, that would be the one I would want to get. And the other thing that was really interesting to me was that we did some skeet shooting too, and I, was able to hit every time when I would do that. That was kind of fun. But
I'm terrible at skeet shooting.
I was really good. It's like bang, bang, bang. But the other thing that was really interesting is that there was different rifles of different types that I'd tried, but this one guy had an AR-15, and it was like, oh my gosh, it's so nice to fire. It just felt
fun.
It just felt like I can hit what I want to hit with it without too much thought or effort or anything. And so I was thinking, all these people that are so upset about the ARs as being so evil, it's like, if I was going to buy a gun, and I wanted a long gun, I would get an AR, absolutely, because it's the one that I would feel like I'd have the most chance of defending myself or family with.
Are an extremely modular platform. They're very easy to mod. Excuse me. And they come in various different platforms.
I'll do one more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The weapon isn't evil; it's a tool.
Yep.
Right.
The people using it.
It's Family Guy, not Family Guy. American Dad illustrated that very, very well in one of their episodes when Stan and his daughter have a fight over guns. He puts his gun down on the table. He says, "All right, gun, shoot someone. Go ahead. It's okay." And obviously the gun just sits there and does nothing. It's like that's very, very well illustrated.
Yeah, I think for a lot of people, the point is, go ahead and
get it though.
Ronan, go ahead and ready up, please. I think for a lot of people that are really worried about guns, in particular, is they're worried about kids getting them inadvertently and accidentally shooting themselves or committing suicide, and having had to clean up the gray matter off of a back wall of somebody's family home when their teenage daughter killed herself, and I didn't want them to have to do it. That's a real fear, right? And they had some fears already, and so they had locked up the gun, and she found a way to get to it anyway. And if I had fears about a kid, being maybe suicidal, I would just get rid of the guns totally, not just lock them up. I wouldn't have them in the house
within easy access of the child.
Right. So I understand that, but
store them with a friend or a storage locker or something. You don't have to completely just get rid of them.
Right.
But I totally understand.
Right.
But a lot of the issues that I feel stem from our lack of education.
Yep.
And
because everybody thinks that an AR is evil, and it's like it suggests like a hunting rifle. It just looks cooler and it handles nicer.
Well, yeah, and sensationalization by the media, because all you ever hear from the media is, AR stands for assault rifle. Well,
right.
That's
no.
not what it stands for.
Right.
But okay.
And most school shootings aren't done with ARs; they're done with handguns. But we're not. Right. They're not pushing to outlaw handguns.
No, because
those are for self-defense.
Yeah. It's counterintuitive to their message.
Yeah.
They'll go for them soon enough.
They don't even understand it. They don't know enough about it to even talk.
That's the thing.
About it.
That's the thing. These people who are preaching this rhetoric, they don't care that they don't understand. All they care about is they are looking for something to blame that isn't a person.
Right, because everybody's perfect and there's nothing wrong with anybody.
Well, they're happy to blame people, I think, too.
It's got nothing to do. It's got nothing to do with the weapon. It's got nothing to do with anything related to the weapon at all. It's literally that they want to shift the blame onto an inanimate object rather than blaming any one person, because having an honest debate about how to solve the problem is too difficult for them to deal with.
I think they're comfortable blaming a whole group of people quite well.
Yes,
though,
exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So, not just the weapon.
Those people...
Anybody who wants to have a weapon, they are happy to blame. Kakai, that's really terrible. I'm sorry you had to do that. That's terrible.
Yeah, that's literally what it is. It's they're not looking to figure out how to actually solve the problem. They're looking for an easy way out.
Howdy, everybody.
And they don't care who it punishes either, because the majority of law-abiding citizens aren't
the problem.
Doing the Yeah. So I did a paper when I was in ITT, and one of the statistics that I found is that of law-abiding concealed carry holders, less than 1% of those people go on to commit any crime whatsoever.
Of law-abiding what?
Concealed
carry?
Concealed carry holders. And that there are anywhere from 250,000 to 3 million defensive gun uses in the United States every year.
Yeah, is that figure really solid? Do you know where that figure comes? That comes from.
Well, it can't be solid. It's from the FBI, but it can't be solid because the vast majority of defensive gun uses
don't get reported.
Aren't reported.
Okay, so those are the confirmed cases.
Right.
Reported cases.
It's 250,000 to 3 million estimated.
Target acquired.
Target spotted.
I mean, a defensive gun use is anything from having to actually pull the firearm and using it to just showing the other person that you have one in your waistband, you know?
Target spotted.
Or showing up at the front door with a shotgun or an AR or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean,
because most violent criminals are, as soon as they see the fact that you are armed, the situation changes.
Oh my gosh. I just got hammered. And now they're coming around to kill me while I'm shut down. Wow. Somebody has an alpha that just took my whole CT and torso out. Almost my CT, then they finished me off. Wow. That was a big alpha strike. That was from a stalker. I don't know what he hit me with. Felt like a Gauss though, like quad Gauss or something. It was massive.
I didn't see it, so I don't
shot
know.
It hurt.
Bravo 3, Charlie 3, enemy at fault. Up high.
so many targets. Oh my gosh. I'm
That's
in
the
the
thing,
wrong
though.
place.
It's not. Kiki, it's not really about how tough you are or how tough you
Stoker on his own.
Because
Firearm is the great equalizer.
Because
new target
like I said, I'm 6'2" and 130 pounds. I'm not a big person. I'm a tall person, but I'm not big by any stretch. I got people that I work with on a daily basis who are much bigger than me and much stronger than me, who look a heck of a lot more imposing. But that doesn't make a difference. The fact is, I'm a trained hunter. I've been around guns my entire life. I also know a fair bit about defending myself anyway. And I also know a little bit about how to defuse situations at the outset. My dad might not have been the best teacher about a lot of things, but one thing he preached that I took pretty much to heart is a mantra that he uses pretty much all the time for things like that. It's talk before you walk before you run before you hurt before you maim before you kill.
Critical damage.
You're always doing your level best to try to defuse the situation as much as possible before things get violent. And if you have to get violent, you do what is necessary to allow you to escape that situation, and that is it.
That little Roadrunner horn was pretty funny. Aaron, yes, is that so? You got the gun, but you don't hunt. So does your brother use the gun, or does your wife hunt, or is I'm confused?
New target.
Sounds like a nice gun.
Sako TRG M10. Sako TRG M10.
Man, we're getting rolled again. This is Drax's fault.
It's a bolt-action rifle.
Oh, like a real traditional kind of deer hunting rifle or something.
It's a bit more skeletonized. It's a bolt-action rifle. Fires a 6.5 Creedmoor, fully adjustable stock, floating barrel. Yeah.
So it looks like.
So your brother uses it then, and not you? You bought it for him to use?
Precision. It's a high precision rifle.
Yeah, for hunting deer and stuff like that.
Floating barrel and fully adjustable.
It's also $12,000 US.
What? Wow.
That might have a little bit to do with.
But you got the flirting discount somehow. Seems like cheating. Well, I can't do that.
So
they're saying they bought it domestic.
So it's
meaning they bought it in the country of origin.
The options that are available for it actually are a little bit different. It's got it can take 3 different calibers from what this is saying. It can take 308 Winchester, 338 LM, 300 Win Mag, and it can have an 11-inch rated twist, a 10-inch rated twist, a 20-inch barrel, and a 27-inch barrel.
Pretty modular, isn't it?
Yeah, it can come in coyote brown or black, and all variants have a right side folding stock.
This sounds like one of those custom build to order sort of rifles where you can go online and or call them up or go in store and order.
Looks like a
$8 to $9 grand or euros.
338 Lapua, is that different than the 338 LM?
The 338 LM, I'm guessing is Lapua Magnum, but I'm not sure.
I gotta go to bed. I'm gonna jump out. You guys can keep dropping if you want, of course.
Yep.
That too. I should have been in bed like an.
Yep. So to answer your question, 338 LM is 338 Lapua Magnum.
Kakai, thanks for dropping in and dropping with us. Ronan, pleasure always. McFish, thanks so much. Panzer, good to be with you. And Valen, you kind of like hung out, but I'm glad you were here.
And thank you to everybody.
Hang out.
Yeah, always welcome. All right. Oh, Dave GT is here. So Dave GT, I put in Ghostlands Spec Ops some links to the GT, the Opel GT 2016 concept car, and it's really good looking, cool. You should go check it out. There's some videos and some exteriors. It's got shrieking red, bright rubber front tires, black tires, and then a red accent stripe on a silver body mostly. And the silver, you probably know all this, the silver panel on the side wraps up into the window space. And so it looks like it's just got an all silver side, but it's really silvered one-way mirror through the window, so you can look out, but you can't see in. And it looks really teeny, but it's got enough legroom for like a big, tall person to get in behind the wheel. And the whole side of the car opens up to get into it. It's really a cool, great-looking little car. And it never went to production, of course, but oh my gosh, if I was
concept car.
Yeah, if I had seen that baby for sale, I would be really tempted to buy something like that if I had the spare money to throw at it. It's super good looking for a cool, car.
As soon as you become Elon Musk, you let me know.
I tell you, if Elon Musk, if there was an electric version of that car, it looks stunning and really cool. Looks like young person's money, but it looks cool.
You want to still? Are you? Okay, so serious question: are you the type of person that actually enjoys having like a sports car like that?
No,
or looking for
no, I don't care. I wouldn't mind having a nice car, but I have a Subaru. I have a 2004 Ford Ranger XLT truck. I thought I'd never buy a Ford. I thought Ford stood for Found on Road Dead. And it was just in a lot. It was like some little old lady had it, and it only had like 20,000 miles on it, and they wanted 11 grand for it. My truck had died. I thought, and I took it for a test drive, and it drove really nicely. And I thought, well, this wouldn't be bad. So I bought it. It's been a really good little truck.
Yeah.
So I've totally changed my, my evil mind about Ford, and I was really impressed when Ford turned down bailout money.
Yeah.
Right? They said, no, we're good. And everybody else said, yeah, give me 20 million or 200 million or whatever dollars or $2 billion. And Ford's like, nah, we're fine. Thanks. I think that's really cool. So I've kind of turned around on Ford in general, but we bought a Subaru a couple years ago used. We've never bought a new car, probably never will buy a new car. I don't want to spend the extra money on a new car. It's silly to me. And I've always been a youth pastor, so it's not like I made any money. It's not like I had the option to buy a new car, right? So bang for the buck was what we could, always care about. And
what kind of Subaru is it?
It's a Forester, and it's a stick shift, which are hard to get, and Jennifer likes driving a stick. I don't really care. And they're hard, so they're hard to get, and it's in nice shape. And so we bought it from somebody who was more elderly and was starting to have Alzheimer's, and so she didn't feel like she should be driving anymore. And so she gave us a pretty good deal on it. But then a year after we got that, the pandemic hit months after we got that, and then we put Jennifer's mom had a Subaru that was a 2009. She had a 2010 that was a little newer and a little nicer. had a better package on it. And she should not have been driving anyway. And since Jennifer or I were always driving her around, she said, I guess I need to stop driving and you can just use my car until I'm dead. It's yours, So now we have 2 Subarus and a truck. And we had a Prism, Geo Prism, which is like a little clunker sedan. And
that's somebody's first car. For
that somebody had given to us, right? In Spec Ops. And it was sitting in the driveway, and Jessica liked to drive it to college, and Jacob needed a car. And so then the pandemic hit, and so we put everything on storage for the insurance, because the insurance just eats you alive, right? And we just drove one of the Subarus for a year. And now we're Jacob finally got his license, so he's got the Prism, and Jessica drives the automatic Subaru, and I'm back to driving my truck, or I'm probably going to put it on storage because I don't need to drive it most of the time, and I don't want to pay $60 a month for insurance for it either, for the amount of time. When I'm building and doing work on the tiny house, I'll turn it back on again in the spring, but I probably won't keep it on all winter. So no new cars in the whole family, probably never will. Not against buying a new car if somebody wants to do that, but to me that seems not within our financial realm.
If you're looking for something that's cheap and easy to run, and also is kind of a sports car that's not going to get you in trouble, look at the Miata.
I don't want to climb in and out of a Miata. They're so uncomfortable to get in and out of. Jennifer loves them, and she would rather than a Miata, though she'd rather have a Mini Cooper. And so would Jessica. They would both gladly trade me in on a Mini Cooper.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
But what I'm trying to get at is like cars that are similar to a Miata in their build profile and stuff like that are actually probably going to be better for you overall, because they're fast enough to where you can still have fun, but not too fast where you're going to get yourself in trouble.
But I don't drive fast. I feel like I'm a good driver. I've never, I think when I was learning I had an accident, right? But I haven't had an accident or a ticket in 40 years, right? So I don't really push cars to their limit.
A good cruising car.
The only accident, quote unquote, I've ever had was in high school, and one of my buddies decided it would be funny to bump me from behind with his Toyota Corolla, his 85 Toyota Corolla, and I was driving an 81 Ford 250, and my trailer hitch punched a hole in his bumper. Oops. I mean, you kind of asked for it.
That was really dumb on his part, because your truck outweighs his car by at least 2,000 pounds.
And there's probably more steel in just your trailer hitch than there is in his whole car.
Yeah. And then I have 2 speeding tickets, but I mean, they aren't even on my record anymore.
Yeah, I don't have any speeding tickets or anything. I'm just it's not that I don't go like 5 or sometimes 9 miles an hour over the speed limit on the freeway, but I generally drive pretty what do you call it? Just proactively, and defensively, and I'm careful, and I'm thinking something could come out, and it has. So I just drive cautiously, and I'm not in that big a hurry to get anywhere. Jennifer likes to zip around the corner. She doesn't really like to speed, but she likes to speed,
Is that a female thing? Because my wife gets upset with me because I drive how you're describing, and my mom has a lead foot. My sister has a lead foot.
I don't know. Her dad had a Corvette. Before that, he had a Triumph, and he had a 280Z. So he was into sports cars, and he was a stockbroker, so he bought a new Corvette, and it was, oh my gosh, he took me for a ride in it once, and we were going 30, and all of a sudden we were going 90, boom, like that. It's just amazing. And he would race her without breaking the law, kinda, I think. If they were in different cars going places, they would see who could get there first. So she knows all the quickest routes to get anywhere in town, because she always used to try to get there before her dad would. And so I think she just learned it from him, but I think she does like to go around corners fast. I just don't every time I go around a corner, literally, I think, there goes some more tire I'm going to have to replace. You know, I can see the ribbon of rubber molecules spreading off that tire as I'm going down the road and off the corners, and it's like I'm gonna have to buy $500-600 worth of tires in another year.
Having driven field cars pretty much my entire youth, I can tell you it's a lot different when you're driving somebody else's car and you know you don't have to pay for it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
When you know you don't have to pay for it and you're driving somebody else's car in an area that is closed off where there's no other traffic that you're going to have to deal with, it's a whole different ballgame.
And I don't mind, you know, driving a stick is fine. That's fine. And you know, that you don't have to, but I downshift to save the brakes and, you know, all that kind of stuff. But it's like a hassle. Like I could be sipping on a soda or eating a donut or, you know, texting on my phone while I'm driving or something. I could be doing something important instead of juggling the stick shift all the time. So I'm a lazy driver.
By the way, for all those, hold on. For just for everybody in the stream, this is not an endorsement to do any of these things.
No, I don't text when I drive. I don't. I do. I would eat a pastry while I'm driving. That's true.
I prefer standard transmissions myself, but my wife can't handle it because it's one of her.
Too much going on all at once.
Well, no, actually, she drives them just fine. It's driving them for a duration of time. Her leg is
the clutch is too hard.
Her knee is bent at an unnatural, not unnatural, but at it's rotated.
It's hard on her knee. Yeah. Well, and I think some clutch pedal springs are really strong. Also, and that can make it worse.
None of the cars that I've had, I mean, other than the Ford, none of the vehicles that I've owned that were standard transmission.
It's kind of weird. Like my kids didn't really know what 4 on the floor or 3 in the tree meant. You know, I had to teach them those things because they had no idea any of that stuff.
Well, because also, Dark, I mean, that's from quite a bit of time ago. If you didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
Well, they don't even know what 8-track tape is.
I do.
I have one of those.
You do?
Yeah, I do.
Do you have a reel-to-reel? I have a reel-to-reel. I have a Pioneer 909 reel-to-reel. It's probably worth a lot of money sitting on my shelf over here.
I believe we actually have 2 reel-to-reels in my house.
Wow.
I'm not sure where they are. One was my dad's and one was my great-grandfather's.
Yeah.
A really cool... Well, when I was actually growing up, I learned on a 4-speed transmission when I was driving the field cars and stuff like that, because the field car that I would drive most often was my grandfather's square box Chevy Silverado 1500, and it was his logging truck, so it had 2 sticks on the floor. It had one for the actual transmission, and the other one was for the differential.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was fun trying to learn how to deal with, because I would also be the one to be driving the truck when he was dropping trees and cutting them up for firewood and stuff like that. So I would be in the cab of the truck with my foot on the brake until he would tell me okay, and then I would haul the tree to wherever he was going to cut it.
Yeah. Hey, 5-Day, good to see you. You got here just in time for me to leave. I'm sorry about that. So yeah, if you want a truck where the window goes up and down by a Toyota or a Nissan, and if you want to pull a stump out of the ground with the rear without the rear exploding a Ford, that's really kind of true. Yeah. I pulled some fence posts out of the ground with concrete, you know, and oh my gosh, I didn't realize how easy it could be. You just take a chain and you fix it around low, right, at the base of the thing, and then you wrap it over just a wheel that's inflated with a hub, right, so it's not going to flex. It goes up over the wheel, and then you go a few feet over to your trailer hitch, and then you just drive the truck slowly, and it makes a fulcrum and turns the wheel and pulls it straight out of the ground like it was not even in the ground. It was amazing. You could pull a stump out every 3 minutes as fast as you could reset that chain. Super easy.
That's a neat trick.
It's a great trick. And then I see people say, "Oh, I got to dig this fence post out." And it's like, no, you don't. Oh no, I'll just dig it out. That's the only way. No, you don't.
Okay, so something to be said for that. I worked for a landscaping crew, and I had to work in a grocery store parking lot. And there was a stump that was actually in one of the beds that bordered the parking lot that they wanted removed. And for those, because it's a parking lot and it's a busy parking lot for a grocery store, you can't really be driving trucks there and hauling stumps like that. So you had to dig it out by hand. That was
but you don't have to.
A lot of work.
It's a parking lot. You can drive a truck in a parking lot 3 feet forward. That's all it takes. You just drive it 3 feet forward.
Well, the person I was working for didn't think that.
Oh.
So
Well, a lot of people don't know how easy it is. I didn't know, honestly, until I went and looked. I said, what's the easiest way to do this? And I saw a YouTube video, and I thought, that is so geniusly simple. And I did it, and it was just that simple.
It took us from 5 o'clock in the afternoon till like 9 o'clock at night to get that stump out by hand.
Oh, my gosh.
Just blast it out.
Right.
In the parking lot.
Right. A stick of dynamite will take care of that lickety-split. Split being the operative word.
And to make matters the most fun, I was the only guy on the crew, so I was the one that was stuck doing all the work.
Oh my gosh. All right, I gotta go, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Everybody in the chat and the stream, thanks for being here and watching me die. Terrible matches tonight. It was an embarrassment to all Mechwarrior pilots everywhere. I'm sorry for you guys to have to endure that, but there again, that's what you're here for. The disappointment's real.
That and the not necessarily Twitch/Amazon approved conversations that were had.
Oh yeah, you guys might have gotten me banned right now. Oh my gosh.
No, you're still live. You're good.
Well, they haven't watched it yet. They will. They'll ban me. Hey Crimson, you got here just in time for me to say goodbye. 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 I don't know who he's talking to. Good night, everybody.
Bye.
All right. Bye.
I feel you trying to climb up my pants.